And now with the latest business and market news, over to Jane Edwards.
Thanks, Alan. Investors on Wall Street closed out the week in a buoyant mood, snapping up stocks ahead of the Labor Day long weekend and lifting the indices by over 1%. The market gained confidence from the August jobs report, showing employment fell by half the amount predicted by analysts. But the US unemployment rate is still stuck at 9.6%. The jobs data marked the end of a week in which sentiment shifted markedly, with figures on US manufacturing, retail sales and housing all better than expected, and a growth in Chinese manufacturing adding to the mix. It caused many who were fearing a double-dip recession in the US to be reassured that the economy isn't going backwards. A look at the Dow Jones over the year shows it actually seems to be going sideways, with the share price gains of this week meaning the index is back where it started in January. Over the week, the US, UK, European and Australian markets all jumped by 4%, while Japan was more muted, gaining 1%. Here with all our local news is Davin White.
As the Aussie reporting season came to a close this week, the market seemed to almost grudgingly concede that 20% profit growth wasn't all that bad. Taking a leg up from Friday's Wall Street surge, the local market was up more than 1% on Monday. This continued for most of the week, especially on Wednesday, when local GDP numbers convincingly beat forecasts, sending the index another 2% higher. Bulks, BHP and Rio were particularly strong, with the market favouring Rio over BHP, who appear increasingly distracted with their bid for potash. This bid now looks increasingly threatened, with resistance from both potash and Canadian government officials. There's now also the prospect of a rival Chinese bid for the company. There was little joy for underground coal gas company Cougar Energy, who've been at the centre of a water contamination scare in Queensland. The stock came back to the boards after a 6-week suspension on Thursday and promptly fell 47%. The price bottomed out at 2.3 cents before rallying after talks with environmental authorities about lifting a ban on the company's operations. Agricultural group Nufarm was hit with a shareholder class action this week following their shock profit downgrade back in July. The price, which began the year north of $10, fell further again this week. It was a week where litigations loomed large. Former ABC Learning boss Eddie Groves launched an action against his former broker Austock for failing to sell his shareholding. Fortescue was also sued by shareholder and partner Leucadia for allegedly breaching a funding agreement. Our winner of the week was Andean Resources, up 42% after receiving a takeover offer from Eldorado. This in turn was trumped aftermarket by a rival bid from Canada's Goldcorp. The loser of the week was the long-suffering Brisbane toll road group River City Motorway, down 39% after announcing that they will most likely be unable to meet their debt commitments as their tunnel continues to record disappointing traffic volumes.